Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. The noise around Glasgow has reached a level rarely seen in recent years. And it all comes down to one shocking rumor that has been echoing from pubs to stadium gates. Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king himself, could be stepping into Celtic Park as the newest reinforcement for the midfield line. Imagine for a moment the green and white hoops carried by a player who has lit up the Premier League with Liverpool, a man who has destroyed defenses across Europe, and now whispers suggest he might trade Anfield's thunder for Paradise's roar. The talk started in hushed tones, an offhand remark from someone claiming to have seen Salah's representatives in Scotland. But like wildfire it spread, and now the buzz has the entire city vibrating. Fans are already debating how Brendan Rodgers could adapt the team to fit Salah's explosive pace, his ruthless finishing, and his relentless work ethic. Others question if it is even possible, considering the finances usually tied to a player of his caliber. But rumors don't care for balance sheets. They feed on hope, and hope is something Celtic fans never run short of. The idea alone has people dreaming of magical European nights under the lights. When supporters in Glasgow talk about transfers, there's usually a sense of grounded realism, knowing that Celtic operates in a market far from the financial giants of England, Spain, or Italy. Yet this particular rumor has cracked through the ceiling of possibility and tapped into something emotional, something almost mythical. Salah is not just a winger. He has become a symbol of persistence, a figure who carries an entire nation's pride on his shoulders, and the possibility of him donning the hoops feels like the kind of fairy tale football so rarely granted in modern times. Social media has gone into meltdown, with fan pages posting mocked-up images of Salah celebrating in front of the Green Brigade, his arms outstretched as Parkhead explodes in noise. There are endless debates about whether he would play wide, as he does at Liverpool, or whether Rodgers might deploy him more centrally, crafting an unpredictable attack that would terrify any opponent in Scotland and beyond. While some dismiss it as impossible, others remind that football is a theater of surprises, and Celtic has a long tradition of landing players who no one thought possible. The dream is alive, and the whispers grow louder by the day. The thought of Salah playing in the Scottish Premiership has added a new layer of intrigue to a league often overshadowed by its wealthier European counterparts. Pundits are already speculating, painting pictures of packed stadiums, skyrocketing TV deals, and a sudden global spotlight shining brighter on Scottish football than at any moment since Henrik Larsson's legendary days. There's chatter about the commercial pulse Salah would bring, with sponsors lining up to attach their names to Celtic kits and banners if the Egyptian star were to walk onto that pitch. Beyond the money, however, lies the idea of transformation. Imagine young players in the academy watching one of the best forwards in the world training on the same fields as them, setting an example with his intensity and professionalism. It's the sort of influence that can change a generation, elevate the standards within the dressing room, and push everyone to dream bigger. Opponents would fear the very thought of facing Celtic, knowing Salah's reputation precedes him, and the psychological advantage alone could tip the balance of tight fixtures. All of this from a rumor, an unconfirmed whisper, yet powerful enough to grip an entire city and leave people checking headlines every morning. Of course, the skepticism has been just as loud as the excitement. Critics argue that Salah's wage demands alone would shatter Celtic's carefully built structure, creating imbalance within the squad and leading to unrest. They point to the fact that Salah remains a central figure at Liverpool, still producing goals and assists at the highest level, and ask why he would even consider a move north. They remind everyone that transfer rumors often snowball from nothing, fueled by social media clicks rather than concrete negotiations. Still, for every skeptic, there's an optimist countering that football careers are unpredictable, and players sometimes seek challenges beyond money. They highlight Salah's devout character, his search for legacy, and suggest that leading Celtic into Champions League glory could be a unique chapter no English club could offer. After all, how many players have walked into the Scottish Premiership and changed its image on a global stage? These questions ignite endless conversations, stretching late into the night, with fans imagining Sulla's smile lighting up Celtic Park. Whether rooted in fact or fantasy, the possibility sparks a fire that will not be easily extinguished. It is not lost on anyone that Sulla's style of play fits perfectly into the identity Celtic supporters adore. Quick, direct, fearless in attack, with an eye for spectacular goals that lift entire stadiums to their feet. Combine that with his relentless pressing and work ethic, and you have a player whose DNA seems built for the kind of football Celtic have always tried to embody. The atmosphere at Parkhead has always thrived on energy, on players who chase every ball, who make defenders panic and goalkeepers tremble, and Sulla brings that in abundance. Supporters already chant songs in his honor, imagining how his name would echo in the stands, blending into the rich tradition of Celtic folklore. Beyond the tactical discussions, beyond the financial debates, there is the emotional pull that football thrives on. Fans dream not with calculators, but with hearts, and the idea of Sulla wearing green and white feels like a fantasy gift to the faithful. They see him scoring against Rangers in an Old Firm derby, arms spread wide, a moment of history etched forever. These visions are powerful, and even if the deal never materializes, they are enough to inspire joy in uncertain times. As days pass, the rumor refuses to fade. Usually, such whispers come and go, replaced by newer stories. But this one lingers, clinging to headlines, podcasts, and fan forums with unusual persistence. Journalists hint that something may indeed be brewing behind closed doors, though no one has confirmed the extent of discussions. The possibility alone has shifted the mood in Glasgow, turning every conversation about football into a what-if scenario. Some fans dare to believe it is not a matter of if, but when, while others guard themselves against heartbreak, refusing to get carried away. Yet the truth is that Celtic's name linked to Sulla has already achieved something remarkable. It has made the club a global talking point, attracting attention far beyond Scotland's borders. Even if Sulla never sets foot in Parkhead, the fact that such a rumor has traction shows the power of Celtic's name and the enduring pull of football storytelling. Whether this becomes reality or remains a tale for the ages, the Egyptian king has once again reminded us why he is one of the most compelling figures in the sport today. The rumor surrounding Sulla's potential arrival has also reignited the eternal rivalry that defines Scottish football. Rangers supporters scoff at the mere suggestion, insisting that Celtic could never pull off such an audacious move, while secretly dreading what it would mean for the balance of power if it somehow came true. Imagine the psychological blow of Sulla walking onto the pitch in an Old Firm derby, a player of Champions League pedigree standing across from their defenders, ready to wreak havoc. Celtic fans feed off this tension, reminding their rivals that the club has a history of attracting iconic figures who left their mark on the game. The rivalry itself thrives on drama, and this particular rumor has injected a dose of pure theater into the build-up of the next fixtures. It's no longer just about goals and tactics, but about dreams colliding with doubts, a fantasy that threatens to become a nightmare for one half of the city. The debate has spilled into workplaces, pubs, and classrooms, dividing friends and families, as everyone speculates on whether Sulla could be the ultimate trump card in the eternal struggle between green and blue. For now, it remains words, but words have power. From a tactical standpoint, the possibilities have set pundits and analysts on fire. Sulla's trademark move of cutting inside from the right, unleashing a thunderbolt with his left foot, is already dreaded across Europe, and imagining it in the Scottish Premiership feels almost unfair. Yet there's more to his game than just goals. His intelligence in movement, his ability to draw defenders and create space for teammates, would transform the Celtic attack into something far more unpredictable. The thought of him linking up with Kyogo Furuhashi, exchanging lightning-fast passes before tearing through defensive lines, sends shivers of anticipation through the fanbase. Brendan Rodgers, known for his tactical creativity, could build a system around Sulla that maximizes his strengths while elevating everyone around him. Questions arise, too. Would Sulla maintain the same intensity against smaller Scottish clubs, or would he reserve his brilliance for Champions League nights? Could he adjust to the physical nature of the league, the cold winds of winter, the muddy pitches away from home? These discussions dominate radio shows and podcasts, each pundit imagining the tactical fireworks Sulla could bring, each fan replaying the scenario in their minds with growing excitement. The rumor fuels endless speculation. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Financially, the situation is where skepticism digs its deepest roots. Celtic has built its model on smart investments, buying talent at reasonable prices and selling them on for profit, rather than breaking the bank for superstars. Bringing Sulla into the equation feels like bending, if not breaking, that philosophy. Critics ask if the club could realistically meet his wage demands without destabilizing the structure. Would Sulla take a dramatic pay cut for the sake of a new challenge, or could sponsorship deals and commercial opportunities bridge the gap? It's no secret that Sulla's global appeal reaches far beyond football, attracting fans across continents, particularly in Africa and the Middle East. His arrival could open untapped markets for Celtic, with shirt sales soaring and international tours becoming lucrative ventures. Some argue that the long-term financial benefits might outweigh the immediate cost, turning Sulla into not just a player, but an investment in global growth. The board, of course, has remained silent, neither confirming nor denying, which only adds fuel to the speculation. Silence, in football, often speaks louder than words, leaving fans clinging to every clue and whisper as they calculate if dreams can indeed meet reality. The human element of the rumor cannot be ignored either. Sulla is admired not only for his footballing brilliance, but also for his humility, his connection to fans, and his charitable endeavors. For Celtic supporters, a club built on community and history, this resonance feels especially powerful. They imagine Sulla not just as a player, but as an ambassador, someone whose presence would reflect values the club has long embraced. In Egypt, his every move is followed by millions, and the idea of Celtic being broadcast into those homes each week carries immense cultural weight. It's a reminder that football is more than sport. It's identity, pride, and belonging. Young fans in Glasgow and Cairo alike could find inspiration in Sulla's journey, from humble beginnings to superstardom, and now possibly to a new chapter in Scotland. Beyond the tactics, beyond the finances, there's a deeply human narrative of hope, ambition, and legacy. Could Sulla see Celtic as a stage where he not only plays football but also leaves a broader impact, creating stories that transcend borders? That possibility excites people, making the rumor feel less like fantasy and more like destiny written in green and white. As with every great football story, timing is everything. Sulla is not at the beginning of his career, but still possesses the energy and sharpness that make him a constant threat. Some suggest he may seek a fresh challenge before the inevitable decline of age begins to take its toll, preferring to choose his next step rather than wait for circumstances to force it upon him. Celtic, meanwhile, stand at a crossroads, eager to reassert themselves on the European stage and desperate for a symbol that can elevate the club to new heights. The alignment of these factors feels almost poetic, as though the universe itself is conspiring to bring Sulla to paradise. Yet football history is filled with near misses and dreams that never materialized, so fans tread carefully between excitement and caution. Still, the whispers grow louder, journalists hint at secret meetings, and the sense of anticipation thickens like the fog over the River Clyde. In football, timing can turn rumors into reality, and the question now lingers heavily in the air. Is this Sulla's moment to step into Celtic's story, or just another tale destined for the archives of what might have been? In the end, what matters most is the feeling that this rumor has ignited across the footballing world. Supporters, rivals, pundits, and dreamers alike are caught up in the narrative, proving once again that football is not just about results, but about the stories we tell and the emotions they spark. Whether Sulla ever pulls on the hoops or not, his name linked to Celtic has already created memories, debates, and dreams that will linger for years to come. Fans picture him walking out of the tunnel, the roar of paradise crashing over him, his smile lighting up the stadium as he prepares to make history. Others imagine the crushing disappointment if it all fades into nothing more than a rumor, a fleeting fantasy that brought joy only for a moment. Yet even then, the power of imagination has done its work, uniting people in shared hope and excitement. Football thrives on such moments, when reality and fantasy blur and we allow ourselves to dream. Celtic may be a whisper, a rumor, a story too good to be true, but for now, it is alive, and it has already written itself into the lore of the game. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.